Today I'm going to share with you how you can learn Spanish just using Spanish, okay? This method is very useful and it's efficient. I use this method with my students, and believe me, you can start speaking Spanish from day one, okay? But of course, it's good to mix different methods, okay? So basically, when I send homework to my student, I recommend them to translate sentences from English to Spanish, okay? So they will be able to memorize and learn new vocabulary, but not just one word, but instead of that, just full sentences, okay? But for today, I'm going to show you this method where you will be able to be conversational as soon as possible. Okay, so now let's suppose you are in a lesson with me. Try to answer my questions, okay? I'm going to help you. So today we're going to study the verb estar y ser, okay? This method is called preguntas y respuestas. Basically, questions and answers, okay? Okay, so first, we have el presente, the present, right? Also, we have the past, el pasado, okay? Presente y pasado y futuro, okay? So instead of just practicing just the present, because it's normal, in the beginning, we are going to use a lot the present. Normally, this is what we do when we just start to learn a new language, okay? We use the present a lot. So let's use the verb estar, okay? Estar. Let's make this bigger. Estar. So how you say I am using the verb estar? Try to answer. If you don't know, you will learn today. You will say yo estoy, excuse me. Yo estoy. Then he is or she is. You will say él está. Okay. Y how you say you are? You say tú estás. So the first question is, here I'm going to put the questions, las preguntas, acá. So I can ask you, ¿tú estás en tu casa? Basically, are you at home? Okay. Casa means house or home. Sometimes it depends. Okay. So you have to answer yes or maybe not. It depends on you. Okay. You could say yes, I am at home. Okay. Let's say you have to say yo estoy en casa, you could say. Okay. So this is the first question. Then I could ask you, ¿tú estás feliz hoy? Okay. And also the idea is like, I'm going to help you with the vocabulary. For instance, let's say you don't know what's the meaning of feliz. It means happy. And let's say you don't know also how to say today. You would, it's hoy, okay? So this is like the approach, but we're going to have like a full lesson, okay? So let's pretend you are in a lesson with me right now, okay? Now I can ask you, for instance, ¿estás cansado hoy? So you could answer, tú puedes responder, sí, yo estoy cansado hoy. Cansado if you are a man, or cansada if you are a woman. Or also you could say no. Yo no estoy cansado hoy. And if you are wondering the meaning, el significado de cansado, cansado means tired. Now let's pretend we are going to use the past. You would say here, yo estuve, él o ella, let's put ella in this case, like she was, ella estuvo, y tú estuviste. Okay? So, I could ask you, yo podría preguntarte, let's put here, ayer means yesterday. Okay? Yesterday means ayer. Okay? And tomorrow means mañana. Let's suppose you don't know this vocabulary. Maybe you know, or you know this. Okay? I'm going to adapt to the level of my student, of course. Okay? So this is today's hoy y mañana. So I could ask you, tú estuviste, okay, tú estuviste, let's use this word, enfermo ayer. I think you understand the question now. Tú estuviste enfermo or enferma, it could be yesterday, ayer, okay? These are like your, and these also, conjugations, they are like your bike wheels, okay? They are your help for now, okay? Eventually, you are not going to see this, okay? In the beginning, you are a beginner or an intermediate level, you need to see this, okay? But eventually, I'm going to ask you many, many questions, so you will improve your listening. And also you will be answering. By the way, to ask es preguntar, and to answer es responder, okay? So you will get used to this, okay? That's the idea. And using just Spanish. Well, here we have English, of course, but eventually I'm going to ask you questions like this in the future, okay? So let's continue. Now let's use we, nosotros. Nosotros estamos. So I could ask you, because the idea of this is to use all the conjugations eventually. But of course, yo, tú is the most important. They are the most important because we are talking about ourselves most of the time, and also you will be talking with someone specific, okay? So I could ask you, nosotros estamos en un hospital, for instance. So you could say, no, nosotros no estamos en un hospital. Okay, hospital, I think probably you know this, or maybe not. And then you could say, nosotros estamos en una clase, in a lesson, okay? En una clase. Let's continue with this. Try to think how would you say you all are, okay? You would say, ustedes están. Now let's try to say, they are. Try to think on your own. If you don't know, don't worry. We are learning here. Ellos están. They are. Okay? Now let's use the past. Nosotros estuvimos. Okay? For instance, I could answer. Excuse me. I could ask you. Nosotros estuvimos en una clase ayer. Try to think. You could say, no. Nosotros no estuvimos en una clase, in a class or in a lesson, ayer. Yesterday. Okay? Even I'm going to ask you this kind of questions. Estas preguntas. Question is pregunta. I'm going to give you information. For instance, yo estoy feliz. Okay, yo, like my name is Dylan, by the way. You could call me Teacher Dylan, Professor Dylan. I'm going to say yo estoy feliz. Okay, you already know I'm happy. Okay, so then I could ask you, yo estoy feliz. Say hoy, today, or let's use other word. Ahora mismo. Okay, ahora mismo means right now. Okay, ahora mismo means right now. Let me make this smaller. Okay. So, yo estoy feliz ahora mismo. You have to say, I already told you that I'm happy right now. So, yo estoy feliz ahora mismo. You have to say, sí, tú estás. You have to say like, yes, you are happy. You are happy right now. Okay. Tú estás feliz ahora mismo. Okay. Then I could tell you, yo estuve, let's say, triste. Triste. Sad means triste. Yo estuve triste ayer. Okay. So, I'm giving you the information. Yo estuve triste ayer. And then I could ask you, yo estuve triste ayer. You could say, sí. Tú estuviste triste ayer. Okay, so that's the idea, basically. Let's use the future, because I like to teach all of this at the same time, sometimes, with my students, but of course, then we will study one by one. How will you say, I'm going to be? Try to think, only if you don't know, if you know. It's easier than it seems. We say, in Spanish, we have two futures, but we are going to use the easier one. We use this almost all the time, basically. You say, yo voy a estar. Okay? Yo voy a estar. Try to think you are going to be. Using estar, of course. You would say, tú vas a estar. Okay? So I could ask you, tú vas a estar en el trabajo. Trabajo means work. Okay. Mañana, for instance, I could ask you this. Are you going to be at work tomorrow, basically? You could say, today is Monday, so tomorrow is Christmas. Christmas is Navidad. So you could say, no. Mañana yo no voy a estar en el trabajo. Ok. Acá. Mañana yo no voy a estar en el trabajo. Okay. And also the idea, you can ask me questions also. Okay. You could say, Dylan, my name is Dylan. Okay. Mañana tú vas a estar en tu casa, let's say, at home, in your house. Okay. You could say, sí, yo voy a estar en mi casa mañana. Okay. So as you can see, it's like you're practicing your listening too, because you need to understand the questions, and then you will be practicing your speaking. Okay. And you have all the information here. In the next lesson, we are going to use estar. I mean, ser. Okay. For instance, I could ask you, where are you from? ¿De dónde eres? You have to say, yo soy de, I don't know, los Estados Unidos, yo soy de Francia, yo soy de New Zealand, Nueva Zelanda, etc. Then I could tell you, I could give you information. I could tell you, yo soy de Chile. Okay. Yo soy de Chile, but I use a neutral accent during my lessons, so don't worry about that. So then I could ask you, where am I from? ¿De dónde soy yo? ¿De dónde soy yo? So you have to say like, tú eres de Chile. Okay. Yo soy, tú eres. And then we could play a lot with this. I could create a lot of questions. I could teach you, I mean, you can learn a lot of vocabulary and like that. Okay, I'm going to create other lesson with this using start again and set. Then I could try this with regular verbs in Spanish, and you will see that once you know one verb, one conjugation, let's say using the present, you will be able to conjugate all the regular verbs. Just seeing like one table, okay? I'm going to show you right now,